Right, I am taking a United Nations course, the history, the future, the critiques, and I'm going to share what I'm learning because there's been a lot of misinformation, misconception, including on my end of why is the United Nations not doing more in our very unstable current political climate, humanitarian crisis, some might say. So I'm going to share some things I've learned. One of my biggest questions and areas of concern is why isn't the United Nations sending more humanitarian aid to countries that are experiencing a lot of war violence? So it's the UN Security Council that is responsible for sending humanitarian aid. And there are 5 countries that have a permanent spot. This is France, China, the United Kingdom, Russia, and the United States. All of these 5 countries have veto power. So that means if there is a resolution on the table for a humanitarian crisis, even if one of these countries says no, it's shut down. And you can imagine that there is political tension amongst United States, China, Russia, France, and United Kingdom. Obviously, this has caused a lot of inaction from the United Nations to provide humanitarian aid where it's needed now, more than ever, but just that knowledge of how difficult it is to get everybody on board, especially in this political climate, makes more sense on why there has been a lack of action from the United Nations. Reform is demanded, it's needed, but just a little history because I didn't know that. United Nations is the closest thing we have to a world, universal government, so it's worth trying to understand the history and why things are happening and how can we improve it to create a more peaceful world. I am not, everything needs to be pro-peace, but when it comes to times like this, we need a unified and modern global government that can help people, millions of people in countries, when things like this are happening.